What's going on, everyone? Man, oh man, what a win by the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, that was a game that they looked dead in the water on several occasions. That was a game that looked like, yeah, they're about to take this L. It wasn't their best game, in my opinion, by any stretch, but they got it done, right? And that alone deserves a ton of credit, right? Like finding ways to win. Finding ways to get the job done, even in games that it seems like it's just not going your way. It's just not your night. Like, man, it feels like a game that, you're playing a Chicago team that's been very good, started off just like you, 5-0, right? Trying to stay atop the Eastern Conference at home, just took a loss on a 2-game losing streak. They wanted, needed, and desperately were going to try to get this win. And you saw that from Chicago. And Chicago came out and they, played the way that you wanted them to play, right? Like they, in many ways, Spurs kind of set the tone early, put up 34 in the first quarter. It was like, okay, like here we go. Spurs are looking good. And then you had that second quarter. And, you just started to see like, wait a minute, things are getting a little out of hand. And then you get into that third quarter and it's like, okay, wait, timeout. Like this isn't what we should be expecting. This isn't the team that we want. Like, are they trying to win this game in a lot of ways, right? And then you go and you outscore them 32-19 in the fourth quarter and go pull off this win. Wemby hits 2 clutch, and I mean clutch, just back-to-back threes that really kind of drove this home. And just, he had a monster game, period, right? Like, he's a guy that just continues to just play otherworldly. But he had 38 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 6-9 from 3. These are the games that I don't mind him shooting threes, right? And I've talked about it. I'm not a fan of him taking 9 threes a game, but when you're 6-9, let it fly, right? My problem is like when he's, 1 of 9 and he just keeps going. It's like, come on, dude. Like, stop shooting threes. When you got the hot hand, when you're feeling hot, you're feeling hot, right? Let him fly. So a game like this, I have no issues with him shooting 9 threes. Again, it's situational awareness, right? Picking your spots, understanding like, hey, I'm feeling it tonight. I got it tonight. Don't worry. Let me handle this, right? So great game from him all around. He had 5 blocks, a steal, only 3 turnovers, and was a plus 13. De'Aaron Fox, Spurs are also 2-0 in the De'Aaron Fox era. Talk about that later, but again, he 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 of 14 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. But he just got back. 6 turnovers, not a fan of that. Needs to do a better job of taking care of the basketball. But again, just an all-around scrappy game. Stephon Castle, once again, double-double, dishing out 11 assists, just really kind of playing nicely. Luke Cornett was back. He was huge for this team. He continues to be huge for this team. They really need Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett is a real difference maker, but he was 16-7, 6-6 from the field. He had a block. He just adds that presence. Keldon Johnson continues to be good off the bench for the Spurs team. And again, this is a game that just, it on several occasions, it felt like, okay, like this is just, it's just, they just don't have it tonight. It's just not one of those nights. This is going to be a bad loss, right? Like, it is what it is, right? Like you just move on to the next one. And then for the Spurs to dig in, buckle down, and find a way to win this game, Victor Wembanyama hitting those clutch shots, closing down the stretch, doing those things. Like you can feel this is a very different team this year. Are they championship level good? I think they still have a lot of work to do. But I mean, the way they're playing fantastic, man. They really are. They're winning on the road. That's the key. Right, I talked about, you looked at their 2 losses going into this. There were 2 road losses back to back. They played a lot of home games. It's like, hey, you got to be able to win on the road. You look at kind of some of their other road wins, and they weren't like, it was Dallas. It was like, okay, going into that, it was like Dallas is supposed to be good. But in hindsight, it's like they've been terrible. And then you beat the Pelicans, who, again, been terrible. It's like you need some notable road wins. Right. And I thought that this is one, again, a team desperate, started off hot, like at home, coming off of 2 straight losses, doesn't want to take a 3rd loss, felt in control of that game on several occasions. You come in, you handle business, you finish the job, and you get it done. You close down the stretch. You have a monster fourth quarter. You do the things that you needed to do to get the win, get the job done. You buckle down defensively. You lock in. It's fourth quarter time. It's go time. This game isn't out of reach. We can do this. We can get this done. And they did, right? And you just got to credit and tip your hat to the Spurs. This is what I'm talking about, right? Like, Spurs lose 2 straight games. How do you respond? Like you start 5-0, greatest start in franchise history, which is crazy to think about because you think of all the great teams the Spurs have had over the years, but they're 5-0 to start this season, right? They suffer 2 straight losses, right? After the Suns game, I talked about, like, is this the moment that they right the ship? Hey, take a loss, it happens, take an L, or do they just collapse? Because you see it all, like Chicago's doing it right now. Start 5-0, lose 3 straight, right? And all of a sudden that snowball starts to snowball, and all of a sudden you look up and now you're 5-5, right? That's not what I wanted to see the Spurs to happen. That was my concern. How do the Spurs, they're a young team, don't have a ton of experience. You didn't have De'Aaron Fox, for the first half of thus far this season, all of that. How do you come out and respond? And then you go to that Lakers game, and a game that felt like they should have won. Like, the Spurs were in control. It kind of felt like a game that just experience out-trumped, inexperience. And the Lakers kind of stole that win from you. Okay? It happens. Like I said, just because you lose 2 straight, not the end of the world. Even the best teams do that at times. But do you let this snowball? Do you start to fall apart here a little bit? Now you're playing Houston, who might be the best matchup as far as slowing Wemby down and making things difficult. Wemby's having his struggles and all that stuff. And he hasn't looked like quite Victor Wembanyama and all that stuff. And you go and you handle business against that. Then you have another win. And then you go into Chicago and finally Wemby just has a monster game and you dominate and you do all these things. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was diving into, a week ago or whatever it was when, after that first loss. How do you respond? What is this team really? What is this team's makeup? Is this a team that, hey, losses happen, let's bounce back, let's get this win, let's go on a new win streak, right? Let's go be 8-2 through our first 10 games. Let's go handle business, let's go do these things. Or is this a team that just collapses and falls apart? They were a team that showed up and handled business, pulled out this win, and a game that they probably didn't have business winning, but that's what makes great teams great. It's what makes good teams good. Winning games and finding ways to win and doing whatever's necessary to make sure that you're the team that comes out ahead, right? Bad stretches, bad moments, bad quarters, they all happen. But when it's time to dig down and close out and get the job done, are you able to do that? These are all just building blocks and experiences for this team that are very crucial on this long road that is this season and seasons to come, right? That was a great win in my opinion, right? Chicago, again, they're kind of snowballing a little bit, but you're talking about playing a desperate team and you got the win and you did it in a fashion that was very impressive. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.